the lies. The truth will find us. We can hide in the night, but in the morning light, the truth will find us.
All right, this is the Evan Ginzburg Show at VillageConnectionRadio.com, and Jim Savali's at the helm, our engineer and station owner. And without further ado, we're going to open the show with some great music. She's a favorite on the show. She's done our show many times. She is Lisa Polizzi. How are you, Lisa?
Doing good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Great, and we're going to hear some numbers, and we're going to see a live video of you performing. So let's start it off.
Away we go.
Yes.
And away we go.
Busted flat Baton Rouge, waiting for a train, and I was feeling as faded as my jeans. Bobby thumbed the diesel down just before the rain and rode us all the way to New Orleans. I pulled my harpoon out of my dirty red bandana, and I was playing soft for Bobby, sang the blues. Windshield wipers slapping time, and I was holding Bobby's hand in mine. We sang every song that driver knew. Freedom is just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing, I mean nothing, honey, if it ain't free. No, no. And feeling good was easy learned when he sang the blues. And feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me and my Bobby. Yeah. From the Kentucky coal mine to the California sun, yeah, Bobby shared the secrets of my soul. Through all kinds of weather, through everything that we done, and Bobby, baby, kept me from the cold. One day up near Salinas, Lord, I let him slip away. He's looking for that home, and I hope he finds it. Oh, I trade all of my tomorrows for one single yesterday, to be holding Bobby's body next to mine. Freedom is just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing, well, that's all that Bobby left me, yeah. Feeling good was easy long when he sang the blues. That feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me, my Bobby, again. La da da, la da da da, la da da, la da da, la da la 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 la, Bobby, again, yeah. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, Bobby, again, yeah. La da da, la da la 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 la. La 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 la. Ain't no Bobby, no Bobby McGee. Yeah. La 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 la. La 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 la. Ain't no Bobby, no Bobby McGee. Yeah. Lord, I call him my lover, I call him my man, I said I call him my lover, just the best I can. Come on, ain't no Bobby, no, ain't no Bobby McGee. Yeah. Lord, alone, 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 alone. No, 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 no. Hey, 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 Bobby McGee, no. it for the band, right? This next one's a little...
That was great.
Thank you so much. I have a Janice tribute. We'll talk more about that. This next song actually don't need a track for, so maybe just a little hand clap. Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. Worked hard all my lifetime, no help from my friends. So, oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? Oh Lord, won't you buy me a color TV? Darling, $4 is trying to find me. I wait for delivery each day until 3. So, oh Lord, won't you buy me a color TV? Oh Lord, won't you buy me a night on the town? I'm counting on you, Lord. Please don't let me down. Prove that you love me and buy the next round. So, oh Lord, won't you buy me a night on the town? Everybody, oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. Worked hard all my lifetime, no help from my friends. So, oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes-Benz? That's it.
Yeah. All right. And we're going to see a video by Lisa right about now. And when we come back, we're going to interview Lisa and hear about her big show at the Triad in Manhattan coming up. unfortunately, people, they ran out of food. All right, we are back with the Evan Ginzburg Show at VillageConnectionRadio.com, and joining us, Lisa Polizzi. And I always ask singers and musicians who are their musical influences. I'm betting it's Janis Joplin. I could be wrong, but yeah.
Yeah, Janis. My very first musical influence was Elvis Presley, though.
Really?
Before Janis, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who are some of your other influences?
Oh, wow. Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston. Those are two of my top ones. Believe it or not, Paula Abdul, even though she's not like one of the major vocalists, it's something about her, the way she entertains. She's one of my favorites. Shania Twain. Selena, believe it or not, even though I don't speak Spanish, I love Selena.
So you appreciate great female vocalists.
Yes.
Well, off the top of my head, I would say Patti LaBelle,
Yeah.
Shaka Khan, Betty
Aretha.
LaVette, the great Betty LaVette, who a lot of people aren't aware of because she hasn't had many hits, but
Yeah,
great
I'm not
R&B.
familiar with her.
She's about 70 now. Great R&B
wow.
vocalist.
I'm gonna check her out.
And Stephanie Mills. Stephanie Mills has a big booming voice. And you have a major gig coming up at the Triad. I've been to the Triad on 72nd Street in Manhattan. That's a world-class venue. It's been there forever. Tell us about that gig.
Okay, it's October 13th. I guess they're considering it a matinee show. We're performing at 7 o'clock, and it's going to be a little over an hour show, hour and 15 minutes. $25 a ticket. 2-drink minimum, but the drinks, you can get drinks for $6, and they don't have to be alcohol. They have coffee and soda and water, and I think it said you could even bring kids. It's kid friendly. I mean, as long as your kids are well behaved.
And what's the theme of the show?
Oh, it's my Janis Joplin tribute. It's all Janis.
All Janis. So this is something special,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
so what can they expect there?
Well, real Janis fans, if you're like me and you listen to everything, there's going to be songs that you probably wouldn't even expect.
Right.
You know,
Some of the B-sides.
more of the obscure stuff. I think even a couple were before she was with Big Brother. Actually, when she used to sing at Threadgills and stuff like that. She used to go to open jams, just like I started, getting up and hopping up
Right.
on microphones.
And what's happening with Big Brother in 2018? They're still touring, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did a show at a Patch Oak Theater last summer. Yeah.
And have you ever met them? And
No, I'm Facebook friends with Dave Getz, though. I don't really talk to him. I don't want to impose, but...
Right. So it's amazing that 50 years later they're still out there on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
And
Amazing.
they're re-releasing the Cheap Thrills album, and it's going to be called The Sex, Drugs, and Cheap Thrills, which was too controversial back then, but they're re-releasing it. I mean, I thought they should have put the controversial cover on it. The original cover was supposed to be all the band members nude in bed.
Wow. Wow.
They should have put that cover, because in these days and times you can. I mean, but so yeah, it's the anniversary of that, and there's going to be like a track supposedly that we haven't heard yet.
50th anniversary.
Yeah, I want to get that.
Wow. Wow. So out of all the vocalists, now I saw Sarah Vaughan live, Ella Fitzgerald, Betty Carter, Annie Ross. I've seen some of the greatest vocalists, Aretha, of course. I've seen some of the greatest vocalists to ever walk the face of the earth. What is it about Janis that people just adore her so much? The vulnerability, I would think.
I think it's the feeling like I wasn't fortunate enough. I mean, I am fortunate enough because I'm younger, but I wasn't fortunate enough to be alive back then. I don't want to be older than I am, but I wish I could have heard her live. But I know when I first heard her, you could feel her energy through the speaker.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what it was like to hear her live.
You could feel her pain.
It grabbed me. She pulled me in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's really nobody that sounds like her. She has a very distinctive voice.
No.
Like Billie Holiday had a very distinctive voice. There's very few people where you go, nobody sounds like them. And she's one of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's like the thing with the tribute. People, they'll compare you. And that was like my fear at first doing a tribute. I never, like, people always said, oh, you should do a Janis tribute. I was like, for one, I'm trying to make a name for me, and you don't want, like, people, oh, that's the girl that does Janis all the time.
Right.
You don't really want that label. But opportunity came. This booking agent at the time ran an entertainment company. He wanted me for a show. He's like, you got to put a Janis show together. And I did, and I did a few shows for him, and I like it, But, of course, I do still get those people like, oh, yada, yada, yada. But, no, there will never be another Janis. But, unfortunately,
she's not here.
Not here.
Yeah.
And if I put on, like, an FM radio station, I don't hear them play Janis. I hear the Stones, which I love the Stones and Zeppelin and the Who, but I never hear Janis.
Interesting. We were talking about the music business, and it's a brutal business. And what I'm seeing today, there's a lot of cover bands getting bookings as opposed to original artists, or the original artist doing their own material aren't getting paid, or it's minuscule. But from my point of view, it's like, I'm not going to go see an Earth, Wind and Fire cover band when I could go see Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yeah.
But it's a different scenario. Janice is gone 50
Yeah.
years, so
Yes.
it's not like she's out there. And
Oh, I know. Like there's tributes to like Lady Gaga and stuff already. It's like,
you
she's
might as well
still
go
here.
see Lady Gaga, right? Yeah, I don't quite get that, especially by the time you're done with the cover and the drinks.
Yeah.
It's not a cheap night anyway. So you might as well go see the real thing. But,
Unless
but Janice, you don't have that option.
Unless it's like a really good Lady Gaga where it's like the next best thing, because ticket sales be crazy.
Ticket prices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody in my position, like, it's like, okay, I can't afford to go see her for a couple of $100, but if this woman does the same thing, maybe not as good, but gives me a show for $20, I'll go.
A friend of mine, Rainier Martin, does Donna Summer. Now, and Donna Summer's gone, and she's a great singer. So I could see that. That to me that makes sense. But if somebody's out there still touring, I don't quite get the whole appeal of. If somebody does the Doors, okay, go see them. The Doors aren't here, especially if they're good.
There's actually a good Doors tribute. They played out here. They're not from here, but they played out here over the summer. I forgot what state they come from, but I guess they travel, and they did a few gigs out here on Long Island. I saw videos. They were really good.
Sometimes when I see an Elvis quote unquote impersonator, and the guy's like 100 years old and he's 400 pounds, to me it's kind of creepy. It's like I don't get it.
Well, that's the thing. Like I forgot where I was. Somebody asked me, what's the difference of a tribute and an impersonator? I think of myself as a Janis tribute. If you come to see my show, I'm not pretending to be her.
Right.
I'm talking about her.
Exactly.
I don't try to speak like her. I don't curse like her. And people are like, oh, you need the bottle of, Southern Comfort. I don't want to disrespect her.
Right.
By, mocking her drinking problem.
Yeah.
But an impersonator might. They might go all out and try to, get her accent down when they're talking. And I want it to be a tribute.
I see that with Beatles acts, and they put on the faux British accent, and they have the Beatles clothes, and I'm like, that guy doesn't look like John Lennon. Even if it's the same hairdo, it's just like, play the music.
And some can't get out of the character. I've seen other like tributes or impersonators, either or, and they're like in character the whole time. Like they're not themselves when you talk to them.
Right. Like method acting. Yeah.
But maybe that's what they need. Sometimes, even when I'm singing in my cover band, which I just have the cover band, Lisa Polizzi Band, that we do, we do a little Janis, but we also do like Jefferson Airplane, Zeppelin, and then we go into like Lady Gaga and Pink and Adele. We do a little of everything. But what I could say is when I'm singing, you are escaping yourself. Like if I were thinking I'm me while I'm singing, all my insecurities are going to come in. You cannot perform and be insecure.
Right.
So it's like Lisa, like speaking to you now, I'm speaking as Lisa the singer. I know it sounds strange, but Lisa the person is more like Lisa back in school, very quiet, didn't talk to anybody. Like even like social things. If I'm at a party, I'm very quiet. I sit in the corner. I hide from people. But if I am going there and people know me as a singer, it's like, okay, I'm Lisa the singer, so now I can go out there confidently and talk to people.
Interesting.
It's so weird. But if supermarket, I get such anxiety because nobody knows who I am, and all they see is me as myself, and I'm pushing the cart, and I'm thinking they're judging me. It's a weird thing.
Sometimes I go down the street and I have this little cart for the groceries, and I feel like I'm 107 years old. Like, there's the old guy with the cart, because I don't have a car. So, yeah.
Plus, I'm legally blind, so I run people over sometimes with the cart. I always tell James, take the cart, because I'm hitting people.
Wow.
I don't walk straight. That's why I don't drive either.
Jim Savali will appreciate this. My radio mentor at WBAI-FM, I was there 16 years. He was legally blind. And every once in a while we would have tech issues. and he would be trying to figure out which button it was, but he couldn't see him. So, yeah, Fred Geobold. And one time he goes, "We have no sound. We have no power." And we're sitting in the absolute pitch black, 3 in the morning. 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
So, interesting. Legally Blind's not easy. I've had friends
I was born
with
it.
it.
My mom had rubella when she was pregnant.
Oh, okay.
So German measles on the back of the eyes caused cataracts and a whole lot of other problems.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not easy. So, anything else coming up that you'd like to promote?
No, but I actually have great news that I wanted to share. I don't know if people saw it. I'm not a bragger. I'm just very proud of my accomplishments, so don't take it as bragging. I recently went to Tennessee, and how it came about was back in 2014, I submitted some of the originals I recorded. I have recorded a few originals that I didn't write, and songwriters wrote them, and I recorded them. I sent them to a radio station in Ohio, and I did an on-phone interview. And that radio station is called The Josie Show.
Okay.
And she has an award show for independent musicians. So everybody's unsigned. And I was nominated for Female Rising Star of the Year.
Wow.
So I raised some money. Friends of mine chipped in and businesses. And I got to Tennessee. And I had no thought that I would even win. I was just going to go, you know what, I'm going to network with producers. I'm going to network with songwriters. I'm going to meet people. There's a way for me to network. And then I'm sitting in that seat and I'm seeing Dolly Parton's niece on stage. And in my mind, I'm picturing, oh my God, if I win, Dolly Parton's niece is going to give me my award. But then I'm like, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I'm picturing it happen in my head. And can you believe my category's coming up? And for Female Rising Star, and my boyfriend turns on the Facebook Live video, because I guess he had a feeling just in case she wins. Lisa Polizzi? I was like, oh my God!
Yeah, wow. Yeah. It's like the Oscars. Yeah.
I could barely make it up the steps. And I was like bawling, crying. And
Wow.
And I didn't even I wanted to thank so many friends, but I was like drawing a blank. And it was like, I don't know if I made any sense in my speech. I guess I did, but I was so emotional. There was so much my mind was saying that wasn't coming out of my mouth.
It's always beautiful to be acknowledged, regardless. Buddy of mine last night, Leonard Aaron Kaplan, the IWF, Killer Kowalski's former wrestling promotion, Kowalski's been gone a long time, put him in their Hall of Fame as a journalist. And, this guy's been out there 30 years, and to finally get some kind of acknowledgement is, it just, when you create art, obviously it means a lot to you, but when all of a sudden somebody else notices, acknowledges, it's very meaningful to an artist.
Yeah, well, that's what I always say. I always sang for myself. Like when I first started singing, nobody heard me. I sang in my room for years as a kid, and I didn't really have any friends, so, I just sang in my room all the time.
Right.
And
now you're getting awards.
I liked it then, but then when you sing for people, it's a totally different feeling. It's kind of like you feel so much love from them.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not everything's positive. I mean, everybody gets, their negative stuff, but I use kind of like the negative stuff as fuel,
My friend Johnny Valiant said that when you're a great performer, when you're on stage, you're 10 feet tall. Mm-hmm. The audience is looking at you as a star.
Yeah.
And it's like a natural high. It's like a very, very different feeling to be on a stage in front of people, really regardless of what you're doing.
It's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah. And I've had friends who are very, all different genres of entertainment who say to me they only feel alive when they're on stage, when they're performing.
Yeah. Oh, it's true. Yeah. We're happiest up there. It's like even a lot of comedians, they're sad people. But
a lot of comedians are tormented people. Mm-hmm. Not all. I mean, it's a generality, but many comedians are tortured artists who need the applause, need the laughs, because something is driving them to get that attention. But I've also met comedians who are very grounded and
but a lot of them you wouldn't believe, like even the famous ones, you wouldn't believe how proof that money doesn't buy happiness.
Think of the Mount Rushmore of comedy. Lenny Bruce was a heroin addict. Richard Pryor was an addict. George Carlin seemed pretty together, in his personal life.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like the Mount Rushmore of comedy. So right there,
Yeah.
some real issues.
That's why I did a drug awareness event a couple years ago, and I just told any kids in the crowd, you're gonna go through some hard times in life, but pick up a paintbrush, a microphone, a guitar, pick up something. Just don't pick up any of that other stuff.
Create art. You
There's ways of
never
getting
know.
things out.
You never know where it's going to take you.
Mm-hmm.
You're sitting here today. For all you know, a year from now, somebody will do a Janis Joplin project, and they'll hire you, and millions of people see it. You have to be in it to win it. Once you take yourself out of it, it's over.
Yeah.
And I'll give you an example. I've worked as an educator, as has Jim Savali's wife, and I know so many teachers who are dancers, singers, actors, and it's always the same conversation. Are you singing? And they'll go, well, I'm busy with school and teaching. Are you acting? Well, I've been kind of busy. And I'm like, you work 180 days a year. You're making excuses. Mm-hmm. And there's no shame in being a teacher. It's an honorable profession. Yep. But don't fool yourself into saying you're a singer if you're not singing.
Yep.
You're not an actor if you're not acting.
Yep.
So, at least be honest with yourself. You're out there. You're putting in the miles on the road. You're dealing with asshole club owners and, et cetera, so on. And, your car's breaking down, et cetera.
Literally.
Literally. And, I mean, you're paying your dues.
Yeah.
You haven't taken yourself out of the game like a lot of people do.
No.
And I understand why they do, but at the same time, don't delude yourself. You're a singer. You're out there singing every weekend.
Yeah, this is all I do.
Yeah.
I don't have a day. I'm committed to this.
Exactly.
It's not making me rich or anything.
But it may one day.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't, like you said, you feel alive when you're on stage.
And we only get one life, Do what you love. I know it's hard to live, especially here in New York, it's expensive. But you only have that one life,
I'm doing radio since 1991. I've never gotten rich from it. Even I was a producer on The Wrestler. None of us got rich from it. The Wrestler made $36 million domestic. None of us got rich. Believe me. So it was a $6 million independent film.
Yeah.
So, but still, that film will be around 100 years from now.
Yeah.
Your videos will be around. It doesn't disappear.
That's what's great about this era. Social media and stuff. Everything's going to be there always, as far as I know.
And how important is social media for an artist?
It's very important, but there's got to be better ways, because it's like, I don't know, sometimes you just feel like you're annoying people with all the promoting. It's like the wrong people are seeing it, and the ones that really want to support you aren't seeing it. I promote so much, but then the people that do support me, like, oh, when you're playing next? It's like, really? I just posted it like 10 times.
They say that you have to post something 7 times for people to even absorb it.
Yeah.
Because there's so much coming at you. There's a zillion posts.
Yeah.
And that's just Facebook. You have all the other social media. So unless you put it out there 7 times, people don't absorb the date, the time.
Yeah.
So give us the date from the tryout again so they absorb
October 13th. Actually, I have the number. Let me give you the phone number in case you want to call for tickets. It's 212-279-4200. And if you want to order online, just go on the Triad Theater website, and you can get tickets online too. So it's $25, 2-drink minimum, and drinks are, I think, $6 to like $13. It's that.
There you go. I'm going to turn you on to a great female artist. Check out Avery Sunshine.
Okay.
Trust me. I've seen her twice in the past 2 years. I've seen everybody. This woman is so great, she'll make you cry. That's how great she is.
Oh, wow.
She's 43 years old. She's not a size 2. She doesn't look like Whitney Houston. But this woman can sing, and it's from the heart. Avery Sunshine. It's like a happy pill. Trust me.
Okay.
Trust me.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, give out all your social media.
Well, you can find me on Facebook. I have a Facebook band page for the Lisa Polizzi Band. I have a Facebook band page.
And spell Polizzi.
Polizzi.
Okay.
So you type in the Lisa Polizzi Band. Lisa Polizzi's Janis Joplin Experience. And then I have my personal pages. One's full, but then I can accept you on the other one. I created a second one. I'm also on Instagram. Just type in Lisa Palizzi on that. Twitter, Lisa Palizzi Band. I'm also on Reverb Nation, YouTube. I think that's everything.
There you go. There you go. And I just want to thank you. You're always a great guest, and you got that big booming voice. I never get tired of hearing you.
Aw.
Thank you so much for
Thank
appearing.
you.
Really
Thank you for
appreciate
having me.
it.
Thank you both.
My pleasure. My pleasure. And we come back. We're going to talk to Zainab Ali, horror blogger, and Erica A, media expert. We're going to tag team them and talk arts, movies, TV, and whatever else comes up. So we'll be right back with the Evan Ginzburg Show in just a moment. Thanks so much.
Oh, thank you.
They're all dead. The lines cut off inside my head. I left here like a broken man with no idea of where I stand. Oh, my mind clears. Lord, I shed all of my tears. Oh, now baby, I was just waiting here while you moved on. Security, this newfound freedom you kept from me. The sound of all your loaded guns. This heartbreak war has just begun. The sound of all your loaded guns. This broken man has already won. Oh, my mind clears. Lord, I shed all of my tears. Oh, now baby, I was just waiting here while you moved on.
right, we are back with the Evan Ginzburg Show. And before we continue, I just want to quickly plug, this is Joe Mandica Presents Grooves, all the way from Australia. Joe Mandica is a tremendous songwriter and musician, and he's from The Initiative. And Joe Mandica played my show when he came in a few years back. And this CD is 14 different cuts from various artists, including Chubby Tavares from Tavares. Remember, More Than a Woman, right? Tavares, and we have some great artists on here. Marty Penrose, Fortunato Isgro. These are all my buddies from Australia. Grace Marino and Joe Mandica himself, and we appreciate him sending this. And without further ado, we have horror blogger Zainab Ali wearing a Dario Argenta t-shirt. Gotta love Dario Argenta.
Oh, definitely.
And Erica A, media expert. And why don't we start with, tell us about your love for Dario Argenta for people who don't know who it is.
Well, Dario Argento is, he's an Italian horror movie producer.
And director.
Suspiria, if you've seen the movie Suspiria,
Oh, yeah.
and Tenebrae, The Phenomena. He's done so many. He's one of the best directors from Italy.
And what's interesting is, at this point, when I was a kid, you would kind of think of those as B movies. They're playing those in museums, art houses, retrospectives, and it's funny how stuff that you considered schlock in the past, now they have kung fu movies playing at the Museum of Modern Art. I mean, really, it's
they're appreciating films from back then.
But everything that's old is now new again.
It's the new normal for.
But it's actually being appreciated as opposed to, oh, that's a B film, that's psychotronic, drive-in stuff. Now it's actually being appreciated.
But this is the thing: a true horror fan will appreciate Argento's work. Even with the other Galli films, the other Italian horror movies.
And tell folks what Galli means for those who don't know.
Italian horror.
Italian horror.
Yeah.
See, I love spaghetti westerns.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I mean, I've even seen some of the sword and sandal stuff from Italy, even earlier, Hercules and all of that. But that's almost campy. You can't take it seriously. But some of the spaghetti westerns are masterpieces. Once Upon a Time in the West, and the Clint Eastwood, Sergio Leone films.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Everybody's preference is different. I love Argento and Fulci. They're my two favorite Italian horror directors.
I've seen a bunch of stuff. Fulci did a couple of spaghetti westerns. Do you know that?
Yes, he did.
And Fulci did Zombie, of course. That's probably his most notorious.
Zombie.
They're walking across the bridge. It's wild.
Zombie, The Beyond.
Yeah, The Beyond.
So, and there's so many. Don't Torture a Duckling, which is one of my favorites, actually.
That one I actually don't know.
City of the Living Dead. City of the Living Dead, House by the Cemetery. And there's so many. Cat in the Brain. Actually,
he has a thing for animals. Don't torture the duckling. Cat in the Brain.
I think he has more of a thing for Donald Duck, because even the New York Ripper, one of the serial killer who's going around massacring all these loose women from New York City, he speaks like Donald Duck, and he taunts them, he mocks them. So, and even Don't Torture a Duckling. I mean, there's got to be some correlation between that and Donald Duck.
A psychiatrist would have had a field day with Lucio Fulci.
Oh, of course.
Don't say it too loud. Disney might try to sue.
I think he's gone now, right?
Yeah, he's gone.
Oh, yeah. And Argento also, right?
No, Argento's still alive.
Really? How old? It's got to be 8. How old is he?
His birthday was just recently, actually. He's got to
be 80-ish, right?
In the 70s, I think.
Yeah.
I believe so.
And his daughter's a famous actor,
Yeah.
Asia Argento.
Asia, yeah.
And what do you think of her career?
I haven't really followed her career as much, to be honest. But, if she's taking after her father's, if she's following her father's footsteps, then it might be noteworthy.
And Erica, have you watched a lot of Italian horror, the old school stuff?
Not that much, no.
You like more the modern stuff?
I was going to say I like more of the old serials or the old musicals from old movies genres.
Oh, okay.
So that's why. And right now I've seen some of the modern horror that comes out, but it's way too bombarded right now. There's too many of them. As we were chatting earlier about too much CGI just getting in the way. The same as the superhero movie genre.
Yeah.
It's just they have to find a balance in the middle.
When I watch a superhero movie, I always say the last 20 minutes is exactly the same in every movie.
Yeah.
They're flying around, they're hitting each other, buildings are crumbling, they're
No,
in
there
the
is a
rubble.
difference. Is this movie going to end, or is this movie going to be a to be continued? They've already have part 2. They've been shooting it, and they're building on it, and the ending is not actually going to have an end. That's the one difference.
You know, when I watch superhero movies, when I'm tired and I don't need to concentrate and I just go, it's 11 o'clock at night, I'll throw on something mindless. Because most of them really don't leave me with that much.
Even some of the old series, the stuff from the 70s and the 60s, if you watch them when you're awake, you are seeing just how strange and weird some of those TV series are. But if you watch them when you're half asleep, you don't notice, like the famous Green Hornet series with Bruce Lee. Half of it is music, because you just kind of close your eyes and you don't notice.
We are having a tech issue.
Oh, I cued the music by accident.
Speaking of horror, there's gremlins in the computer.
That scared everyone in the room.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, we haven't started being in the Snow White yet. They haven't popped out. Hi ho, hi ho.
That's right.
But that's what they want to see.
So what are you guys watching now? What do you recommend?
Well, I can recommend some movies from Shudder.com,
Okay.
the horror streaming service. There's a movie that I watch repeatedly. Okay, there's quite a few independent horror movies I watch repeatedly. This one movie, Excision, came out a couple of years ago. It is Tracy Lords is in it. Do you know Tracy Lords?
Yes.
Yeah. Well.
How could you not remember Tracy Lords?
Yeah,
Jim and I remember for different reasons.
I remember the name from somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know where
Yeah.
though. Was she,
I remember from New Wave hookers back in the day. Yeah.
Well, she's made an illustrious career.
You know, the director of New Wave hookers did some horror.
Yeah.
What's his name? Gregory Dark, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I
Gregory
know
Dark.
some of those hooker movies are like horror movies too, though.
But she's made a very illustrious career for herself since those days.
Speaking of hookers, I once did a road trip with the wrestlers and the actress from Frankenhooker. I forget her name. We were all in the same car going to a convention in Maryland. The girl from Frankenhooker. The name eludes me, but this is a while ago. You ever see Frankenhooker?
No,
It's a strange
I
film.
haven't.
Strange
No, it
film.
sounds like it.
It's a horror film. It's right up your
I
alley.
should check it out. I should. I could write about it.
Right up your
But
alley.
the movie Excision, though, I have to say it's a must-see because it's amongst the many twisted movies. I won't spoil the movie, but it's about a girl she's severely demented. I mean, the girl, she's very uncouth, very unladylike. She's a freak. She's a strange girl. She's not liked by many people. Her own mother, who's played by Tracy Lords, is very controlling.
God,
and
Tracy Lords is playing moms now.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
It's-
I'm
That's how
old.
you know you're old.
That's when you know you're
interesting,
old.
But she was so good at playing the verbal.
She's actually a good
abusive mom.
actress.
Oh no, she is.
Yeah.
But she played the control freak, verbally abusive mother, and she wore the pants in the family. You could
Right.
tell. And well, the girl Pauline, her daughter, played by Annalyn McCord, she was also in the new 90210. Her character is so uncouth, so unladylike. She's a freak, but she has this grand delusion of being a surgeon. So, without getting a proper education, getting kicked out of school, she truly believes that she will be a successful surgeon. So there's a big hint of necrophilia involved in this
Necrophilia,
movie.
wow. That's entertaining, huh, Jim? Necrophilia.
There's
Oh my
some
God.
point- I mean, she fantasizes about having sex with dead people.
Oh.
And this one, I
fantasize about having sex with Tracy Lords. That's a different story.
I think every man
Yeah,
does.
it's a different story.
But the movie is just, her character just entertained me throughout the entire movie because this girl is a complete freak. She's so uncouth, so unladylike, she's so filthy and so dirty. The character she played is very unsexy, very dirty. but yet,
Sort of like some of the folk you see down at Walmart. You know, you ever see some of the outfits down at the Walmart?
But it was one scene in the movie that I swear I die laughing every time I see this. She goes up to she goes up to this guy. They're sitting in the bleachers. This guy and his friends. They're sitting in the bleachers. They're just doing talking, whatever. She goes up to him and she says, "I'm gonna be." She is very forward and says, "I want to lose my virginity to you."
Wow.
And he gasps. He's not sure what to make of it. She just flat out says, "By the way, my allowance pays for birth control and everything." She just comes out and says these things that blow your mind. And then, well, I don't want to ruin the movie for you, but
Spoilers.
I'm saying you have to see this movie. It is so twisted. It's sick, disgustingly twisted, and it's so good I can't stop watching it. I love watching
Sick,
it.
twisted, and so
Her
good.
character entertained me so much. I just find it, her character just completely entertained me, and I loved Tracy Lords in the movie. Roger Bart's in the movie too.
Okay.
Played the husband, who obviously he just goes along with everything his wife says. She puts him down all the time, and he says, she wears the pants in that whole family. She wears the pants in the marriage.
And where can we see this?
You could see it if it's still on Shudder.com. You could see it, or just buy it on Amazon. Excision.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. And what are you watching, Erica?
Horror-wise, I've actually been looking at the new series, The Purge, based on the success of the movies, and I was actually curious what your thought is. That they've now moved the movie franchise to a limited TV series.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not such a big fan. The Purge is really not my favorite, to be honest.
It's not
I
my
think
favorite
each
series,
movie it
but
got
it's
worse, right?
It jumped
really
around
like
a
it, to
lot,
be
the
honest.
movies. I'm not a fan of it, but it's like, is it more marketable to move it to a TV series? I think they're losing so much
I think
out
they're
of
losing
it.
some. That's a sure way to lose some steam, I guess. It's a sure way to lose hype.
Or maybe to build up momentum so they wait for the next movie because people have such a limited amount of attention.
I don't know. I never got into The Purge, to be honest.
I like the first one, and the
it,
second
but-
one wasn't as good, and the third one, it's just like a downward spiral. I haven't seen the TV show.
I guess
Okay.
there comes a time where you have to say, okay, we've seen enough. So, that's just my opinion. Some
I've
people love
looked
The
at it.
Purge.
I
trying
purge
to
my
do character
Facebook
building.
friends a lot. I just
Yeah.
get rid of a bunch of them sometimes.
Well, that's because
I
you
go
reach
too
your
stupid
limit.
to live.
I'm still in there. I know that.
That's you're still there. Yeah.
I don't post anything political anymore. That's why.
Oh man.
There's no safe place to go there. That should be a horror movie in itself.
There's
Speaking
a lot
of that,
of horror movies that surrounding social media.
I know, like
Unfriended,
yes.
Unfriended. The new Unfriended, the second Unfriended, they came out a couple of months ago, The Dark Web.
So it did
which was
come out.
very-
Okay.
We saw it in the theater. It was very freaky. I have to say, it was scary.
but was it worth seeing?
Yes.
Unfriended,
Unfriended 1 and Unfriended 2, The Dark Web.
the dark web. Okay,
It's definitely worth seeing. I'm definitely going to buy it.
really. And what do you recommend, Erica?
I'm not going to give any recommendations on horror, not when we have an expert, right?
But what about TV in general? What are you watching?
Oh, I'm watching everything here.
I
and
know,
there.
but the viewing audience doesn't know. That's
I
why I'm
know.
asking.
Well, right
Yeah.
now, I would say the hardest spot for me is Tuesday at 10 o'clock. There are 4 things I'm watching right now.
This is
I am-
us.
Not that.
Really?
I don't think it came back till this week.
It's back.
I was watching Wrecked. I'm watching Carter still, which
How's
is
that Wrecked? Is that any good?
Wrecked
That's
is
coming
sort
back.
of really creepy and yet quirky at the same
it
time.
supposed
You
to be
really
like-
have to concentrate on it. It's sort of the Hunger Games meets Lost meets
Well, that's what I was gonna say.
yes.
Is it kind of like based off of Lost?
It's a little
bit.
like Lost, but it also has some kind of Hunger Games mentality to it,
Yep, that's
and
what I-
even a little. Oh, what's that book where the boys are trapped on the island?
Lord
and-
of the
Thank you.
Lord
Yes.
of the Flies.
Yes, and it
Ah.
even
Lord
has a
of the
Lord of
Flies.
the Flies feel. So it's very quirky. It bounces all over the place. Some weeks it's my second alternate. Some weeks I just go, oh, what are they doing? And I go back to it twice because it's a half-hour show compared to so many others, which are an hour.
Wow.
But
Anything else you're watching?
It's definitely worth looking at just so you have the experience.
Yeah.
I've been watching Bullet came back, The Good Doctor's back. Somehow Murphy Brown is back, but I thought we'd chat about this later when if I see. Murphy Brown and no, you don't. You never.
I've never seen Murphy Brown in my life. I wouldn't know what to ask. I've never seen it.
I used to love that
I mean,
show.
I was a child then. I was too small to actually care. But it's interesting that another show has been brought back from the 90s, or maybe it was even the 80s into the 90s, right? Because I remember she had a feud with Dan Quayle at one point.
Since you guys brought up politics, I'm going to put you on the spot. Kavanaugh or Ford? Let's let the women answer this.
Oh, really? We're going there?
I'm not the person to talk to about politics because I don't pay attention. I'll be very honest.
Kavanaugh or Ford?
I try to push it from my mind, but I'm horrified with the way society is right now that anyone would dare even consider to move on after these allegations were moved forward. And his argument is he drinks beer, and that's a reason to put him on the Supreme Court. I've just been trying to push it out of my mind. People keep saying, you don't have it on, right, do you? I said, no, I don't. Oh, good, I'll hide with you.
He should do Budweiser commercials. He can make a fortune. That guy loves his beer, boy. He mentioned the word beer like 37 times.
But he shouldn't be a judge. I mean, one person I was speaking to said, oh, I don't want it anymore. I can't stand it. I don't care who's on the Supreme Court. I said, well, it's about protecting rights. And what happened is she's like, I don't care about people's rights. And I said, if they made a law outlawing same-sex even existing, if they wanted to execute all people, you would want to bring that to court, and you'd want to argue for the right to be a citizen.
I have no idea what you just said. Did you?
I'm so
I'd like
lost.
to give my opinion.
I'm just saying
She
that
lost me
I...
at
She
beer.
went on
You
like
lost me at
37
beer.
tangents.
Here's my
Okay, I
opinion.
went
Jim
on a
Savali wants to
tangent,
give
and
his
on that
opinion.
note, let's go back to something happy and unrealistic.
Well, now
There's
you opened up the
football,
can,
there's
you know.
play, there's the
You
playoff
lost me at beer.
Let's
You
get
lost me at beer.
the Republican point of view.
My opinion is this. He's the exact same age as me.
Okay.
So, do I think he could have done it? Yeah. Because I went to school with a bunch of guys who were jocks and drank their beers and went to parties and did stupid shit like things like that. So, is it possible he did it? Yes. But the question here is not, the question is he guilty or is he innocent? Did he do it?
I
And
think the
bottom
question
line
is
there's not
he
enough
going to
evidence.
actually answer a question? And if he might have done anything, say something. Not say, I like beer. I just feel like he's
I don't
avoiding.
think that was the whole point of everything he said. But
Okay.
the point is
But he
that,
did like his beer.
I
they
just
should
felt like he was
they
avoiding the
should
question.
do an FBI investigation because obviously that will make everyone happy. But the bottom line is that it's really hard to prove either one of them right or wrong without any type of evidence, which there probably will not be any of. So, where do you go from there?
I
I
say
think
that
most of
just
the people are
be honest.
uninformed about what's going on and are basing their opinions on things that they don't really know. what
I'm
they're
not
talking
basing
about.
my opinion on a Saturday Night Live sketch. I'll give you that much.
I was very disturbed by the many women who said that Bill Cosby's 60 accusers were all liars, whores, gold diggers. Women saying that about other women.
That's crazy.
I think that's really disgraceful. And I also got
Well,
very.
if he did it, I hope they right off the. You know me, I'm
Oh.
I'm not a Republican. I can't see with blind. I don't have blinders. But if he did it, then he should not be on the Supreme Court. I'm sure there's other nominees and things that will go on, but the problem is that it just became too much of a circus. Everyone made it into a
But with
circus.
Cosby, it got so ridiculous. An evil white cabal was trying to bring down this man 30 years past his prime.
But let's
That's
get
so
off this
paranoid. So paranoid.
Let's get off the topic. I mean, there is everything going
Haven't
on.
started.
It's
It's
jumped.
a
It
It's
has
my- it's-
jumped
it's-
all over the place. Reality can be far more scary than any movie or
That's
TV
true.
show.
That's true. Reality is very scary. And so I have a question for you, speaking of that.
Okay.
You see movies like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which, although outlandish, is based on a real incident. People have died from serial killers and guys chasing them with knives. I mean, is it glorifying violence? Because I
Of
watched.
course, I think it is definitely. I mean, you see so many movies like Silence of the Lambs that's based on Hannibal Lecter was based on the persona of Albert Fish, the real life cannibal.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Ed Gein was also the Leatherface was inspired by Ed Gein.
Wow.
Just like the movie Eaten Alive, Marilyn Burns was in that. The man basically he owned a hotel and he had a pet crocodile. He fed his guests to the crocodile.
Oh, he loved his crocodile. You can't blame him.
It's like,
Yeah.
but that was also based on a true story. I believe Joe Ball, the serial killer, he owned a hotel and he had a pet alligator.
Wow.
So,
But I just want to say one thing. The original Halloween, John Carpenter,
Yeah,
which is a
okay.
masterpiece. You cared about Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
You didn't want her to die. She's running from the killer, and you want her to survive. But the Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, it's almost like you see the knife like lovingly going into the faceless victim, and it bothered me. I turned it off. Turned it off.
I did like the remakes, but here's the thing.
The first remake was okay. The second one
Okay.
was
I
like
just wanted to-
violence for the sake of violence.
There could have been some things. It was a little over the top. I mean, you don't need to stab the person 500 times after they're already dead. That doesn't. Why do that? I mean, basically, it's showing that you have so much disdain for humanity, but the human being is already dead. Enough is enough. But I felt it was basically. I mean, I do have it. I do like it. I just wouldn't say. I would say that there's certain things were a little over the top.
Like Argento, it's shot artfully.
Yeah.
It's different. It's surreal to an extent. I see Argento as an auteur, as a serious director, but something like Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie, it just bothered me.
Rob Zombie has his own.
I like some of his earlier stuff. That movie in particular,
The
I
House
just
of
didn't.
1,000 Corpses, which is, basically, you see so many horror movies about twisted psychotic families who basically go on a killing spree. They're amoral. They have no sense of moral ground. They have no conscience. They have no soul. They teach their kids how to kill, and that's a family of its own. I think that the House of 1,000 Corpses was definitely, the most depraved human beings ever, who showed no mercy. They lovingly tortured and killed anybody that they came across. They were just, they felt this hunger. It was they felt this hunger for human blood, basically.
Yep. So, Erica, what else you watching? On that happy note.
Okay,
Yeah.
on that happy note, I'm waiting for Supernatural to come back so that they can go stabbing angels and devils and they burst into flames.
Okay.
Almost as good as watching a good horror movie.
Yeah.
Except it's a little cliche at this point.
I like Sarah Silverman's show where she goes all across the country. You would like this, Jim. Sarah Silverman, who's very liberal, she goes to like Republicans' houses, like in the Bible Belt, and she bonds with them, and she sees them as
Isn't it
human
weird
beings
as
instead
when-
of as the enemy. I forget the name.
That's awesome.
I forget the name of it. Something America,
We should
but
do that,
Okay.
Evan. We should take our show on the road.
take it on the road. Yeah.
Is it as weird as when Vanilla Ice makes houses or hangs with the Amish?
Well, she's sitting in a house in like Iowa, with a family who all are Trump voters and very religious, and she's a Jew from New York, and by the end they're hugging and kissing and they've bonded and they see past the political stuff.
Yep.
It's actually a very interesting show. Very interesting. It's on Hulu. Yeah, I forget the name though, which doesn't help. But Sarah Silverman's new show.
I guess
So-
Google Sarah Silverman.
It's the Zyrtec for my hay fever, my brain fogs. Like before when I said Tavares did more than a woman, that's the Bee Gees. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wrong there. That's the Zyrtec talking. So, anything else? Anything else you guys recommend for our millions and millions of viewing audience who are hanging on every word you're saying right now?
I don't know.
I don't mean to
Watch
put you under
cable,
pressure.
Watch things. Outlander's coming soon. CW shows will be starting up. Fox started up their new shows. I actually looked at the return of Lethal Weapon. They got rid of one of the main characters and strayed from the movie finally, made it more of an original thing.
I'm watching This Is Us again, and they had a little.
Great show.
They had a little snippet, Jim, of the. They show. They show the brother in the future, the black brother. I forget the character's name, and they show him walking in to the hospital room because his wife's about to die. That's going to be rough.
I was about to say, it's like that he has now like 3 different people playing that character as
Yeah,
he
you have him
ages.
as a little kid, as a teenager, and as an adult. Yeah. And I never remember characters' names unless it's like Kirk Sulu and but that's a tremendous show. This Is Us. And speaking of tremendous shows, I forgot to plug Monty and the Pharaoh Thursday nights at 8:05 last week. I should have, but I was so shell-shocked doing a 2-hour tribute to my buddy Nikolai who just passed. But Monty and the Pharaoh Thursdays 8:05, and they have a big autograph appearance November 3rd.
Yep.
And
Don't
who's
ask me
that?
about the other one.
And don't.
Because I don't know.
Okay, one's November 11 and one's November 3rd. New Jack, it's all a blur, but they have a bunch of guys coming up. Oh, Sabu and New Jack.
We're gonna set up a ring next time, and we're gonna have wrestlers come and actually wrestle.
That would be
Careful
fun.
with your table.
That would be fun. And speaking of wrestling, in our next segment, we have Vinny the Guido and referee Vincent Cantoni. But anything else you want to plug? Any social media? What's happening with your movie?
Basically still in pre-production. And if it's going to be based on this, the Nightmare Nook the Nightmare Nook, 6 scary stories to give you nightmares. So you could find this on nightmarenookhorrorblog.com.
And tell folks about the Nightmare Nook.
Basically, aside from the horror blog, which I rant on any horror movie, any horror movie that comes to mind, I also, basically this book that I came out with 3 years ago, it's based on 6 short scary stories inspired by my own nightmarish experiences. So I decided to make this into a story form. And now it's time to turn it into a film.
I have the same nightmare all the time. You'll appreciate this. I'm in Madison Square Garden in a wrestling ring, about to wrestle, and I'm with Billy Graham, Bruno, whoever else. We're all in the ring, and first I go, this is awesome. I'm in the ring at the Garden with my heroes. Then I go, wait a second, I don't know how to wrestle. These guys are going to kill me. They're going to kill me. I've had that dream 30 times over the years.
Well, you got to be careful because I could end up writing about it.
Oh, that's like an anxiety dream.
Yes.
Then
yes.
the other one is I have to teach a class. I can't find the room. I'm late, and I'm really stressing out.
But that one might actually come true.
That actually is.
Well, that does come true because you're on the subway or something and you're trapped in the tunnel.
Yeah.
And you're trying to get somewhere.
That's something that actually can happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. And Erica, what do you want to plug?
Oh, you can look me up online on Facebook or email me erica.a268@hotmail.com. I do it all. I'm a cinematographer, videographer, I write, I edit. It's always an adventure and it's glad to be here.
There you go.
No projects right now though.
And,
Though I am considering developing a new thing, but I was talking to someone about this comedy thing. I would call it the Shrieking Doctor. All doctor series are dramas. This would be a comedy about a doctor who's...
Shrieking.
Yeah, would be not shrinking, shrieking.
Shrieking, yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who's sort of medical phobic and has to treat everyone while sort of upsetting them at the same time.
That's interesting.
That's interesting.
I had a friend who had real phobias about doctors and hospitals, and he ended up becoming a male nurse. It's like he overcame it. He overcame all of it.
Without the actual shaking and
No,
passing
yeah.
Okay.
And they say if you have like bad phobias, like if you have a fear of heights, like jump out of an airplane. You have to do something to just face it and do it. But I'm not a trained psychiatrist, so don't do anything crazy on my recommendation. So thank you, ladies, and whether it's Kavanaugh or Ford, we're all friends here.
Or
Right, Jim?
it's just, let's let life go on without us.
Yeah.
That's right.
Stay
That's
out
right.
of politics.
And support the Nightmare Nook. You know, it's funny. I say this all the time. I've lost a lot of friends debating politics, but even as a liberal, my Republican friends, it's like the friendship is so strong that it's like, okay, we voted different, we look at things differently, but you could still be friends. There's no...
People take it too personally. Everything, people don't understand. You have the freedom of speech. You have the right to voice your own opinion, your own views.
The extreme left is crazy too. They go,
Yeah.
all the Republicans are racist. I go, absolutely
No,
not.
they're
That's
not.
insane.
Well,
Insane.
here's the funny thing. I don't know if he did it. None of us know if he did it, but there are some people who
He
are
might
saying,
not know if he did it if he was
there's
so
some
drunk.
people who are saying he did it. Well, how do you know he did it? I don't know. No one knows he did it unless he goes to court. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's kind of...
Well, even O.J. Simpson, you know, sometimes if something traumatic happens, you know, you could blot it out.
Absolutely, especially
You could,
after 36 years.
he might not know that he did it,
It's possible.
even if he did it, and he probably did, but we don't know. We don't know. So
And at
He
this
had
point,
really, all I can say is he had really, really good lawyers.
yes.
So basically,
Well, he
even
had
if
a
was
large enough
guilty-
team that...
Even if he was guilty, he had stellar lawyers.
oh yeah, but you know, there's very rich, powerful people who have the best lawyers, and sometimes that's why they're getting off. But didn't work for Cosby. There's a lot of evidence. So sometimes justice is done. And on that happy note, with they said ironically that Bill Cosby was eating Jell-O on his first day in prison. No, that's not a joke. Seriously, they said it was part of the menu. Certain irony there. He was eating Jell-O in prison.
Oh my God.
Bill
well, as long as he
Cosby.
doesn't eat Fat Albert.
Well, you know what's interesting.
Sorry, I did another punchline.
Bill Cosby, my comedian friends, professional comedians, they feel he's one of the greatest comics of all time. So talk about taking a fall. Oh my God.
He's gone downhill so fast.
I mean, he would be in the Mount Rushmore of comedy, and basically he destroyed his legacy because they've taken off all his programming, and nobody's...
It does air on a few channels.
It's the
though.
same thing
Yeah,
they did with...
but
It's not the
yeah.
same intensity
Yeah,
as
yeah.
it was that everyone loved him. It's sort of mixed feelings.
It's the same thing with Roseanne, you know. I mean, she made one asinine remark, one asinine, obnoxious remarc, and her new show was pulled.
Well, no, it is back. It's just without
They're
her.
killing a
Without
character.
her,
They're killing a
exactly.
character, yeah.
I mean, it's not fair to the rest of the co-workers, rest of the cast, that they should be without jobs for something she did.
But it seems hard to be a comedian. It just does. I mean, so many of them seem so unhinged.
Some.
Like, I mean, you just thinking about this show, Kidding. I forgot to mention on.
Kidding's
Showtime.
great.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's a really interesting
Jim
show.
Carrey.
Yes,
Tremendous, yeah.
and how he's already sometimes has such unhinged moments, and he's playing a character that's sort of. It almost seems scary at times watching it.
Yeah. Life is scary, and comedians today, I don't envy them. They go into a college and you say one thing that offends somebody, the audience could turn on you, and
It's either you can handle that kind of humor, or either you can handle it, or
Or
you can't.
there's college bookers now that have comedians sign contracts that they won't say anything that could possibly offend the overly delicate students.
But isn't something going to always offend anyone?
Sure.
Yeah, that's why it's hard to be a comedian, like you said. But I mean, let's face it, the uncensored stuff is the most hysterical. Let's be realistic.
Sometimes.
Um,
I mean, in
not
my
if it's-
opinion.
Okay, not
in
if
my
it's
opinion.
too toilet humor, then it's just losing all its humor.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. But
Some of
it's
the
just-
most uncensored stuff, but I'm not going to say all of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just my opinion. The most uncensored things, basically the things that blow your mind, that come out of nowhere.
well, your other half is patiently waiting.
Yeah.
Vinny the Guido
Speaking of which,
and his son, referee Vincent Cantoni, and we're going to talk pro wrestling in just a bit. Thank you again.
Thank
and,
you.
Thank you
really
very much.
appreciate you coming. Okay. We'll be right back with the Evan Ginzburg Show in just a moment with Vinny DeGuido and son Vincent. And they look nothing alike, by the way. Nothing. Could never know they were related. Okay.
Babe, I'm amazed at what you've gone and done with your life. Somehow you learn to love your Monday. You know that I can't change. It's always been that way. It's always me just moving sideways. Now I realize that what's been advertised, it's all just been a bunch of lies, a bunch of lies. And now I'm on my way, on the LI Expressway, to try and stop this whole new life. My mind begins to race, I drift out towards a different place. The neon lights are ever glowing. I lost track of my days and near the saving grace. And I don't know where my life is going. Now I realize that what's been advertised, it's all just been a bunch of lies, a bunch of lies. And now I'm on my way, on the LI Expressway, to try and stop this whole new life.
Trick or treat. Right. Isn't that what they say around Halloween time? But why would Rob Fury celebrate Halloween if I paint my face and become a living, breathing, iconic, legendary, violent figure that is more than an illusion of a horror movie on a weekly basis known as Rob Fury and SWF No Trickery. Boonton, New Jersey is the place. October 20 will be the final resting place for you, Waylon Cage, the reigning, defending, undefeated, hardcore champion. Since April 21st at Mega Slam 2018, you've beaten the best, but you've never beaten this version of Rob Fury. I am the man you did send to the hospital. I had my head glued shut. I am the man you caused a massive concussion to. I am the man you broke my ribs. You broke bones in my back. But I am the man that holds your career in these hands. These fists are the ones that are going to punch you square in your face. Waylon Cage, SWF No Trickery, the main event for the Hardcore Championship. I don't need the Furious Five ringside with me for this. I'm going to do this alone. It's going to be you and me in a fight till the end. And may the best man win, is what they would say. But don't you understand, Waylon Cage? I'm no man. I'm an unbreakable monster.
SWF, and they will be at the Boonton Elks, 125 Cornelia Street, on Saturday, October 20th. And some of my buddies will be on the show, Simply Splendid Bobby C. and Sir Christopher Michaels. And while we're doing plugs, ProWrestlingStories.com. I write for them, and I've done some heartfelt pieces about
it's good.
Nikolai and Johnny Valiant and Killer Kowalski and others that we've lost. So it's a history site. It's really a tremendous site.
Cool.
I get tired of the wrestling sites that just obsessively pound you with WWE minutia. You know, what's Baron Corbin doing this week? Who cares? Who cares? Anyway, we are joined by Vinny the Guido, and we have his son, who is referee Vincent Cantoni. And how's it feel to have your son in the business, Vinny? You know the perils and pitfalls of this business.
I'll tell you, I was telling him, I don't really want him to do it. I said, I'd rather you not.
But I'm persistent.
I said school's first, but he kept bugging me. And I figured he's at the right age to start training. And I said, well, as long as you continue to do, because I figured it's motivation. I said, as long as you continue to do good in school and you keep it up and you don't mess up and stuff, I said, then yeah. I was like, then you can do it. But I said, but the second I see you slacking off, then you're not going to do it anymore. So now it motivates him to continue doing better instead of slacking off. Because I started to see a little bit of slack, and I'm like, all right, maybe if I let him do this, maybe he'll want to do better. So, and he has. As soon as I started letting him do it, he started going, started doing well again. So, it's motivation for him. But I told him, I was like, school's got to come first. And I said, and if you're not, if you're not up to par, then I'm gonna have to take you away from it. So.
And Vincent, do you ever study videos of great referees like Johnny Red Shoes Dugan or some of the great referees?
Yeah, I usually study guys like Mike Chioda, Charles Robinson.
Interesting. And what makes Charles Robinson a great referee?
Well, yes, he did do the little Nate gimmick. But as a Ric Flair's personal referee. But just the way he sells everything, like when WrestleMania 28, Hell in a Cell, when he ran to the Hell in a Cell, counted 2, and then just took that choke slam from The Undertaker and sold the hell out of it. I mean, he's great at selling things.
So you're training also to take bumps and whatever else a referee might need in the ring?
Yeah.
Okay. So how's that going?
So far, so good.
And have you gone home in tremendous pain or?
Not tremendous pain. I mean,
you got hit with a kendo stick.
A bruise here or there, but.
What's it feel like to get hit by a kendo stick?
Doesn't tickle.
I have a kendo stick story for you guys. I was a heel manager with Romeo Roselli. And,
I like Romeo. He's a good dude.
And we were facing Tommy Dreamer.
His birthday just passed not too long ago.
Okay. And we were about to face Tommy Dreamer on an indie show at Cyclone Stadium in Brooklyn. So the promoter pays me the Herculean sum of $50. So I said to the promoter, Jim, this is a great story. I said to the promoter, I said, the second Tommy Dreamer comes out with that kendo stick, I'm running into the dugout and you're never going to see me again because I'm not getting hit with a kendo stick for $50. And the promoter said, okay. And that's my Tommy Dreamer story. So you're a bigger man than me. You'll take the hit. I wouldn't.
Dreamer's a good dude. I like Dreamer.
Oh, yeah. He's like ageless. He's like ageless, that guy.
He thinks I'm crazy. I'm like, hey, at least I didn't swallow the Undertaker's tobacco spit. All right, that's pretty crazy.
Tommy Dreamer basically looks the same as he did 20 years ago, right?
I swear he hasn't aged. I don't know how he does it. He's still got a full set of hair, and I got this shit right here. So
I caused that.
Yes, lots of stress.
Oh man. You guys should do like a comedy duo. Forget wrestling.
We probably could if we wanted to.
Yeah. If there wasn't only 24 hours in a day, it's not enough time.
So, as a father-son combination...
Oh, sorry for the bags under my eyes. I was out with the Rough Riders last night, partying and stuff, because it was a birthday party or whatever.
Tell folk who that is.
Well, I'm a member of the Rough Riders. The Rough Riders, basically DMX and, and Eve and a whole bunch of others. A lot of famous rappers are a part of the Rough Riders. It's not a gang, folks. It's a lifestyle. So don't think it's a gang. It's not. It's just a bunch of motorcyclists and truckers, and and it's mostly motorcycles. But I don't ride a motorcycle, but I'm doing the business end of things for them. I'm handling events and stuff like that. We just opened up a Long Island chapter. I started off with the Rough Riders and Spanish Mob in the Bronx, and then because that's where we had to do it for a while, because we started a brand new chapter called Long Island Premier. So Rough Riders Long Island Premier is a new chapter. So if you're a motorcyclist and you like hip hop and R&B and all that other stuff, hey, feel free and contact. There's a page on Facebook called Rough Riders Long Island Premier. It's a like page. Contact us there if you want to become a prospect member, and and be a part of the world famous Rough Riders. I mean, they have Rough Riders worldwide now, and it started right here on the East Coast. And now they got Rough Riders in Germany. They got Rough Riders in Russia. They got Rough Riders everywhere now.
Wow!
All over the United States too. It's incredible. So if you want to be part of the world famous Rough Riders, I mean, and you have a motorcycle, or even if you don't have a motorcycle and you want to be a part of the Rough Riders, just give us especially if you live on Long Island here, contact us and Rough Riders Long Island Premier, and just like the page and contact us there. And if you want to become a member, we're looking for new prospects. So
okay. And
like I said, I was at a birthday party last night, so I got bags under my eyes. I didn't get much sleep. So
wow. So Vincent, I have a very important question for you. What's it like being the son of Vinny the Guido? It can't be easy. Yeah.
Living with him is kind of annoying. I mean, he gets on everyone's nerves.
Yes. Indeed.
But he does it on purpose, which makes it kind of funny in the long run. But I mean, it's still
I act
annoying.
younger than he does. So,
What kind of role model is he? Be honest.
I'm a troublemaker.
Yeah, he's kind of a bad influence, but in a good way, if that makes any sense. Like, he does.
I tell him enjoy his life and just make sure everything you do is legal and you're good. So,
yeah.
You got to enjoy your life. I mean, I can't stand people who live their life in misery and all they do is bitch and complain about every little thing. It's like, listen, you only live once. I mean, you just got to enjoy your life. I mean, why live in misery,
He answered the question for you. What's it like having him as a dad?
Honestly, he's a bad influence, but in a good way, but I wouldn't have it any other way, because, honestly, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah, not every dad, takes you to wrestling and music and, and everything else, right?
I'm the cool dad in school, so... all his teachers are like, your dad is so cool.
I can imagine Vinny, at 90, being like the same guy. Let's go to wrestling. Let's go hear some music. Right? Nothing wrong with that.
He will never grow up, to be honest.
Nope.
Well, maybe that's
I'm
good.
I'm going to be young the rest of my life. You're only as old as you feel, folks.
Nothing wrong with that. I find I'm happiest at a concert, show, wrestling match. I don't understand as people get older why they sit home, where that big screen TV and surround sound is like the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
I mean, go out and enjoy yourself. You live in New York, the culture capital of the world. I don't quite get it.
I can't wait till I change my gimmick in wrestling. I'm still going to be Vinny the Guido, but I'm going to change it to just the initials VTG. And I'm going to have new entrance music finally. It's no longer the 50 Cent I Get Money Forbes remix. I'm now going to be coming out to, if you look it up on YouTube, I'm going to be coming out to I'm a Rough Rider by Parlay. It's P-A-R-L-E, Parlay.
There you go.
So I'm a Rough Rider by Parlay, and if you want to check it out, that's going to be my new entrance theme.
As a wrestling manager, have you ever been hurt in the ring?
Yeah, I spent a night or two in the hospital here.
Really?
There, so, there's nothing fake about being in the hospital. So, Where, you know, I mean, accidents happen, and sometimes you get unprofessional people that like to stiff you too. I mean, listen, this isn't ballet. There's gonna be times you get hurt. There's gonna be times you hurt somebody. It's just, you know, it is what it is. I mean, you know.
I go in the ring with Simply Splendid Bobby C as part of his entourage, and
Bobby C's awesome.
when
Bobby C's a good dude.
whenever the faces like chase us or something, I'm really running because I don't know if they got the memo that I don't wrestle. I'm really running. You know, it's like I'm not letting them put their hands on me.
When was the last time you did it, Ev?
Like maybe May or June.
Oh,
couple months
really?
ago. Yeah.
Oh, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a busy summer because we were promoting 350 days.
What promotion was that with?
Bronx Wrestling Federation.
Oh, okay, yeah. Broncos company.
So,
I like Bronco. Bronco's a good dude too. I like
So
Bronco.
Bobby and Christopher Michaels go to Bronco. They're pointing at me. They go, "No lucha,
Actually,
no lucha. He doesn't wrestle."
Actually, it's Bronco International.
Yeah, Bronco looks like Bluto. You know, when you see this guy, he's so
has
muscular.
so many muscles. He has to turn
He has
to wipe
muscles on top of his muscles.
I can just see it when he goes to the bathroom. He's got to turn to wipe his ass.
You
His
go-
muscles get in the way. You know.
If Bronco walks down the street, you go, "That guy's a wrestler." You know.
Remind me not to piss him off in a dark alley.
He happens to be a very sweet guy. Very sweet
and he's a
guy.
nice guy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
as long as you have an interpreter that can, you know, interpret the conversation, because, you know. But he's a good dude. I like Bronco. I met him like once or twice. He's a good guy.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun getting in the ring, especially as a heel and antagonizing the crowd. And
That's easy.
yeah, it's very easy actually. But
Being the good guy is hard.
yeah,
Being a face is hard. It's very hard.
Yeah.
You know,
Especially
it's a
if
lot
you're
easier to
young.
get people to hate you than it is to get people to like you. I mean, you know, that's why my number one fans are all people that hate me.
So speaking of that, what do you think? What do you think of the fans who are online and they're very, very hypercritical of the indie wrestlers, and it feels a bit obsessive sometimes.
Yeah, but you know what? They're fans. If it wasn't for the fans, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. So, you know, let them. Hey, listen, they have an opinion. They have a voice. It's a free country. They can say whatever they want. You know, I mean, personally, do I care what they say? No, absolutely
But
not.
what bothers
you know,
me as somebody involved in various capacities, you know, that when they chant "you effed up," and I'm like, dude, you're like 400 pounds, you could barely walk up a flight of stairs.
They just want to feel like they're a part of the show, so they want to take over the show. I mean,
yeah. So
you know, I mean, listen. I mean, people call me a dick. I mean, come on. I mean, that's, you know.
But I'm just saying, to be so critical of somebody who has the balls to do something you don't.
Yeah.
It kind of sometimes there's a line.
The way
sometimes the fans are funny.
Yeah.
But other times there's a line where they're trying to take over the show.
I mean, the way I look at it is like, you know, what people say really doesn't bother me. I mean, if you're an insecure person and you have a chip on your shoulder, then everything people say about you, of course that's going to bother you. But if you're confident and you know you're great at what you do, then it really doesn't matter what anyone says.
No, I'm just saying, if you mess up one move out of 37, the fans shouldn't turn on you. You know,
Yeah.
it's not perfect. It's live. It's not, you know, it's not Memorex. It's live.
Evan,
you know?
what's your favorite sport other than wrestling? Evan?
Boxing.
Boxing, okay. You know what one of my favorite sports is?
What's that?
You'll never guess. Figure skating.
Really?
You want to know why?
Why?
Because I love watching them fall on their ass and everything, and then they get back up and they pretend nothing happened. It's hysterical. It's the funniest shit you'll ever see. I'm telling you.
But
It's
again,
great.
for them,
Just for that reason, that's the only reason I love
for
figure
them to
skating.
reach that level where they're at the Olympics or on national TV or worldwide TV.
I'm joking.
Figure skating.
It's not figure skating, folks. I was just. It's a funny joke. Yes.
But
it's
I'm
a
just
joke.
saying, to get to that level, even if you mess up once, I mean, these are world class athletes. You know, it's like I can't figure skate.
Oh, people call me a world class asshole, so I guess that's a good thing.
Well, it is. It is world class anything. Yeah. So, what's your goal as a referee?
There's a positive. You got to put a positive spin on it.
Just to get my name out there in the business, get some bookings. You know, speaking of which, if you want to book me, my email is refereevincentcantoni@gmail.com.
There you go.
Follow me on Instagram at referee Vincent Cantoni. Find me on Facebook at referee Vincent Cantoni. Even my YouTube channel, referee Vincent Cantoni.
Spell
Check me
Cantoni.
out. That's Cantoni. Cantoni.
Okay.
Yeah, you look like
There
you
you
had
go.
to think about that for a second. No, I'm just kidding. It's too early in the morning for you, Vincent. No, I'm kidding.
Way too early in the morning. I should be asleep right now.
Hey, listen. I like the pun though. The cheap promoting is something I taught him over the years. So he.
What does your shirt say?
Here I am. What are your other two witches? Speaking of where I am,
wait.
You just ate the punchline.
Say it again.
Here I am. What are your other two witches?
Yeah, what are your other two wishes? I love that.
Speaking of other two wishers, any promoters out there that would like to book me, I'm right here. I mean, here I am. I mean, I'm available.
And he's fair and calls it right down the middle, right, Vincent?
Of course.
And he's very calm.
Wink, wink.
You're very calm.
I like to be calm and collected. But speaking of professional wrestling, there is a show that me and my dad are working on October the 6th in Ronkonkoma, New York, at the Ronkonkoma Fire Department.
I've been there. Ronkonkoma Fire Department.
October the 6th, yep. It's going to be, the doors open at 6:30. The show starts at 7:30. And it's going to be at the Ronkonkoma Firehouse. If you want tickets, just contact either Vincent Cantoni or myself and ask to be put on the guest list. And
Is this ECPW?
ECPW. Yep.
And what's the main event?
I know Manu's on the card. I mean, I don't really. I'm not
Triple
really,
threat for the Long Island Championship.
Yeah, I just don't know who's in it. I'm just too tired to pay attention to it. But yeah.
How to hype the
he's
show?
He's gonna be.
I don't know the main event. I don't pay attention to it.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, I know the main event. It's the triple threat for the East Coast Professional Wrestling Long Island Division Championship between Ring King Cash Camacho, Mark Static, and Lawrence Spiral.
And ex-WWE superstar Manu is gonna be there also.
Okay. And
part of the legendary Anawati family.
It's a great venue. There's not a bad seat in there. It's so tiny. You could be in the last row, and it's a good seat. I've been.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a good time. I'm going to debut my new gimmick and everything. It's going to have a lot to do with the Rough Riders, so it's going to be really cool. I just hope my outfit comes in the mail on time because I'm still waiting for it to arrive, and it hasn't arrived yet. I ordered it like 2 weeks ago and shit, so But yeah, it'll be cool. I mean. We'll find out who I'm managing and stuff. It's a secret right now. I'm trying to just revamp everything I've been doing, and my son here is going to be refereeing on the card as well. So let's see what happens. It's going to be cool.
You know what I don't like when the referee, does 1, 2, and like the last 3 is like really slow because the guy's not supposed to lose the match. That's like exposing the business when that third one is like really super slow.
Yeah. I mean, what's pretty cool is just recently Vincent and I went and Zainab, my fiance, we went to New Jersey for Modern Vintage Wrestling, and we did a charity event to raise money for Jackie Destiny Peterson.
Yeah.
And she's a cancer survivor, so we're just trying to help. We were trying to help raise money.
I know
for
Jackie.
her.
She's done my show.
Yeah, we're trying to help. We were trying to help raise money for her medical expenses and stuff like that. And
it's nice when wrestling promotions get behind something positive instead of the promoters all killing each other and ripping down each other's posters and all the nonsense.
I believe it's. I'm trying to think. It's November 16th. I think is the next Modern Vintage Wrestling show. I'm not exactly sure what the date is. I forget. Yeah, it's November 16th. It's going to be the next Modern Vintage Wrestling show.
I believe it's in Pennsylvania, too.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It's in Jersey?
It's in Jersey.
Yeah, give out wrong information, Vincent.
If you look up Modern Vintage Wrestling and Gimmick Tree Entertainment, Gimmick Tree Entertainment on Facebook, they have a like page over there, and all their events are posted over there. But just look up Modern Vintage Wrestling and Gimmick Tree Entertainment. So they have 2 different pages.
There you go.
Check that out. But yeah, that was a good event. It was it was something nice, to do a charity for my good friend Jackie, and
she's good people.
I'm just glad we were there to help support that. I was a color commentator for the event, and And
I was
Vincent
selling
Vincent was
raffles.
helping out with the raffles and the 50/50s and a whole bunch of other stuff. He was helping out at the event and stuff. So it was
And
pretty cool.
anything else you'd like to plug? Because Jim Savalio Engineers had a long, rough day with 82 technical issues. So,
Yeah,
anything else you'd like to plug, guys?
gotta love live. You gotta love live TV, right?
NYWC Wrestling on October 20th in Deer Park, New York on 435-13 Brook Avenue is the address. Tickets for general admission are $20. Front row is $25.
And what's the main event?
Card is yet to be determined.
TBD, to be determined.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
almost sounds like a venereal disease.
Yeah. If a doctor told you had TBD, you'd start sweating.
Like shit. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a pet peeve of mine is when you see the posters for indie wrestling shows and you have like 37 people on the poster but no main event. And a lot of times it's the same people. Or you're looking at these guys and go, I have no idea who these people are. So at bare minimum, if I'm going to travel and buy a ticket to a wrestling show, I want to know the main event, the co-feature, or at least list the names. Don't just throw a mishmash of faces on a poster. Gino does well. He'll tell you all the matches, and then you decide: do I want to go? Do I not want to go? At ECPW, but some of the promotions.
But remember, that card's always subject to change. You gotta love the independence.
But at least you know basically what you're going to see, as opposed to here's 25 guys on a poster. I don't know what I'm getting.
Yeah, it's true. That is very, very true. Oh, by the way, I was listening to the show when you were in here before, and I saw you were talking about hookers.
Frankenhooker.
Yeah.
New wave hookers. What else?
All I heard was blah 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 hooker. That's what got my attention. So I don't know.
Yeah, we're talking movies with hookers.
Well, movies are
not real hookers.
Oh, not real. Oh, shucks.
Yeah. But
so much for those $2 hookers in Hunts Point, huh? I'm kidding.
You would know better than me. Yeah.
All I gotta do is watch those HBO documentaries. I mean, they tell you all about it.
That's true. That's true. I used to like Taxi Cab Confessions. That was good.
Yeah, that
and
was
my father
good.
was a taxi
Yeah.
driver, so I could relate to it. My father would pick up some strange people and come home with stories, boy. So
thank you again for having us on. Oh, and by the way, if anybody's going, at the beginning of November, the Exotica Expo is coming back to Edison, New Jersey. I will be there in my Magnum Man cosplay costume, taking pictures with everybody, practically. So, if you're looking for a good time and you want to have some fun, come down to the Exotica Expo in Edison, New Jersey.
wow. I want to go with you one year. That'd be fun.
Oh, it is a good time. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
He said he can't wait till he's 18. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
One more year to go.
One more year to go. He's counting down.
Wow.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to take him for his 18th birthday? I'm going to take him to, I'm going to either take him to Resort World or I'm going to take him over to Jake's 58 Hotel and Casino. Yeah, he said he wants to check that out. So I was like, yeah, when you're 18, you'll be able to then. So,
This is Father of the Year right here.
That's
He
right.
knows how to have fun.
Teach my son how to have fun and do good in school. As long as he does good in school, he can have fun. So
All right.
nothing wrong with that.
Don't gamble.
No, only if you're gonna gamble, just at least know that you're most likely gonna lose, and you only bring enough just to have fun with and not piss away your whole paycheck.
The rare times I go to a casino, it's to hear music, to see a concert. So I'll play the machines, and once I burn through about $40, I go, "This is it. I'm not giving these guys all my money."
Yeah, you'll catch me at
I
the
just
roulette
stop.
table.
Yeah. So
That or Texas Hold'em. You'll see me in the poker rooms too. So.
Anyway, we just want to thank you guys and best of luck in your referee
Thank
career.
you for having us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
And,
maybe are we doing another? Are you going to be doing another Halloween show again or no?
I haven't really put much thought to it.
Because I will bring my condom costume for that too. So.
He dresses as a giant condom. Yeah. We'll talk about it.
Well, people call me a dick. I might as well dress like it. So
do a Halloween show like we usually do.
Yeah, I miss those. I love the Halloween shows. Those are always a good time.
That'll be fun. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up because Jim's been here since 2 a.m. Battling the computer. And that'll about do it, folks. The Evan Ginzburg Show, each and every Sunday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'd like to thank all of our guests and Next week, your buddy Mr. Big will be here.
Oh, yay.
I haven't seen him in a day.
Yeah. And
God.
Sir
That
Christopher
guy is a
Michaels.
joke.
Oh, he'll just love hearing that. And Magic will be here. Everybody loves Magic.
Magic I love. He's a good dude right there. Solid man, bro. Love Magic. Magic's a good dude.
All right. That'll about do it, folks. We're going to wrap it up.
Another shot to make it strong, sober not to shake it off. Another night to make it all. Feels so exciting. A heart case could start a fire.